Hey, what's up, guys? It's Kev from Tavera Trading, and today I'm going to recap an interesting trading day, which was yesterday. And yesterday, I tried to go on live, but it didn't work. The Wi Fi was horrible, and that caused my positions to enter late, and it caused me to be in a position for longer than I wanted to. And that's why I had a big loss yesterday. I think I was down $80 because of this, because I couldn't get out fast in my position. And I've gotten to the point where if I'm down trading, I usually just take a step back, recollect myself, wait 10 to 15 minutes, don't look at the screen, and then I come back at it, right? Potentially, if I lose more than 0.5% of my account, I tend to just stop the day. But then I saw an interesting move on DBGI, and at the moment I was down $80, right? However, I was able to bounce back, and I'm about to show you exactly, guys, how I did that. And so keep in mind, right now I'm down $80. I'm frustrated. I'm like thinking, what do? I either close the computers, I stop trading, which is a smart thing to do, or I'm gonna wait for a good setup to come up. But if I have to wait for a good setup to come up, it has to be a good setup. It can't just be a little 1 minute setup that I'm trying to scout, right? So here's my point of view. Here's my thinking process. Stock DBGI gets halted at 7.4, right? This was after I lost pre-market to another stock. Stock gets halted at 0.4. Down, I draw a line here at 8.4, which is an 8.4, basically the 8.5 mark, right? And I draw a line at 8.5. Stock comes down to 7.5 and proceeds to have a low at 7. Here, I'm waiting for a retest around 8 in order to bounce back over 8.5, right? But then I see something interesting, right? It hits 8.5 again. I don't enter. I think I had a small position here. I entered here, small position, and I was just holding. I didn't stop out, right? Until it crossed the VWAP. Across the VWAP, I stopped out. But here's the interesting thing, right? And now we're reaching again a resistance point. And then after this point right here was when I realized I have a trend. I have a clear trend. So what did I do? I'm gonna make this so you guys could see better. So we have a high of day, right? We have a high of day, and we have this high of day being constantly tested once, twice, 3 times, and we have the low at 7. But here's the interesting part, right? The lows are increasing. We're getting higher lows as time goes on. So what did I do? I drew a line at 7. I drew another line at 7.5. And at that point, I'm like, okay, well, our supports are increasing by 50-cent intervals. I'm going to draw my next support line at 8. So I drew a line at 8 right here. And this is an ascending triangle pattern. And if you see the gray line, which I'm going to demonstrate it even better with this right here. I did it on the 5-minute. Nope. I'm going to do it right. What's a good spot to do it? I did it right here, right? I'm going to extend this to the right. Now, I normally don't draw diagonal lines unless ascending triangles. That's my rule. And ascending triangles are essentially this, an ascending triangle. We have a right triangle. This right triangle right here, hypotenuse, and I forgot this side. But essentially, we have 2 angles here, right? We have a triangle forming, and we have, as you see now, it's much more clear, right? It's getting squeezed, and the idea is that as soon as these 2 lines intersect, it squeezes forward, right? So that's the overall view, right? And I have my horizontal lines right here, 7, 7.5, and 8. And in ascending triangles, it's usually after the third support, the third low, that it shoots up. And as we see here, it came up to 8.5 for the third time, came back down, had the support around 8, and look what happens. Boom, shot right through up. We see it jumped from almost 100,000 shares in volume to 470,000 volume of shares traded in a minute. And when I was watching this in live, it literally just teleported all the way up here. And at this point, I have my first profit. I drew a resistance line at 9, and I drew a profit target at 9.5. I had my profit target at 9.5. Why did I choose 9.5 over 9? Well, the first reason was that this was a setup on a 5-minute, right? So a 5-minute setup, I'm expecting this to go high, right? not a 1-minute setup where I'll just have like a 50-cent move and then come back down. I'm expecting this to blow up. It's already 10:20, almost an hour since the market opened. We have a super clear ascending triangle. All right, so back to what we're talking about. Comes all the way up. I'm holding here. I bought my first position right here, which was incredibly smart. Buy my first position right here. And for those who want to know where to enter that first position, I'm about to show you. I'm entering at the break of this consolidation. This is the break of the consolidation. Consolidation area is like technically the halfway point before we get the test of the high of day, the retest of the high of day. So I added right at this break at around 8.3, the break of the consolidation, right? After that, it just teleported upwards and I just added over here, which is okay fill, leaving my average at 8.4. The trick when I try to buy into breakouts is I always try to leave my average at 8.4. What does that mean? Is I add before and I add after. That way, if it comes back down, sometimes the stock ends up coming back down, as we saw here. You see it came back down a little bit, and this new resistance now becomes support. So I like my average to be lower. I like my average to be right here. Instead of my average was 8.75, I'd be like tweaking the whole time. You know, oh my God, now I'm down, now I'm green, now I'm down. You see? So that's essentially my strategy. And yes, bought right here. Okay, that's better. That's better. So we see a clear ascending triangle, right? We see a clear ascending triangle. We see it, now we see it better, right? We see that as we get move here, we get squeezed up. First add was here. And yeah, we see the lows making the higher lows. That's what they refer them to, higher lows, meaning that the supports are getting bought up. They're getting bought up. The lows are getting bought up. And if I were to graph it, you could see now that we have it at 7, 7.5, and then 8, roughly 8, which is perfect, right? And then right after here is when all those buy orders, they came through. People started selling around 9. I'm holding to make a move to 9.5, and I'm waiting to see if we could get there, and we got there. And I ended up selling here at 9.5. But the point of this video is essentially this is how you analyze an ascending triangle, right? 2 ways to analyzing an ascending triangle, right? You analyze an ascending triangle after the second high. After the high is tested for the second time. That's what I was trying to say. After the high is tested for a second time on the same level. It makes it stronger if this is tested, if this reaches that same level and doesn't break it, it makes it stronger in the future. However, if it comes up to 8.7, 8.6, it kind of breaks this resistance level, so it's not that strong. So then this break of 8.5 wouldn't be as strong as it is here. This break of 8.5 is really strong because it got tested 3 times over an hour and couldn't break until the fourth retest. So yeah, that's how you analyze ascending triangle, right? We start off with the high of day, comes back down, retest that high of day, comes back down, but it comes back down higher than the previous low. It's going to retest a 3rd time, come back down a 3rd time. We have 3 resistance points, 3 support points. And it's even better if those support points are at very strong support levels, 7, 7.5, 8. Make sense? Let me delete this. And then these 2 factors together, plus the resistance, the buyers just pushed it up. And I was able to get to my profit target of 9.5. Well, 9.39. It still helps. And I sold at 9.39. 9.4, I sold around that area. And the reason that this worked is because I was patient, right? Buying shares like crazy. I waited for my opportunity. I got in right when it was time for me to get in. Like a cheetah, just pounce on the prey. You wait on, no, not a cheetah, a leopard. I don't know the animal. I'm gonna just edit this part out. But yeah, this is my review on how to catch an ascending triangle and how to profit from an ascending triangle. Oh, and stops. Let's talk about stops. So I already mentioned that. I like my average to be I made my average about 8.47. So any move below 8.47 I would have sold automatically. That's my stop. And that's why it's not ideal that's why it's always smart to get in at least some shares bought in before the move upward. That way your average isn't too high. If your average is lower, if your average is here around 8.5, then the stock can move around here freely and I'll be safe. I'll have time to stop out. If my average is 9 and the stock is dipping all the way 8.6, I'm down 40 cents a share. If I'm in $200, I'm already down $80 off this little move right here. You see, that's a problem. However, I was always in the green because I entered right at the top of this little candlestick, 1 minute candle, which I identified as the top of the consolidation. And once this consolidation level broke out, the high of day level broke out, and we were off to our profit target. And ultimately, anything under VWAP, no exceptions, stopped out, exit. So yeah, this was my ascending triangle analysis. It's actually fun because I've been drawing these trends and putting them on pictures and journals and books and just drawing them out, printing them, teaching them. And now I'm actually doing a video, it's actually pretty fun because I don't have the book with me, but I have a book from 2 years ago where I'm analyzing an ascending triangle. It's the same exact thing. These ascending triangles are quite literally identical, which is why we're able to make money off them, right? These patterns work because day traders work in unison, right? The stock has tradable patterns because the majority of the people trading the stocks are traders, not robots, not algorithms like Apple, Microsoft, Amazon. So that's why these patterns tend to create predictable patterns, and therefore, if I know what's going to happen, I can make money off of it. And that's what it comes down to. That's the reality of the game. Thank you for watching my ascending triangle video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And that's how I come back from an $80 loss and was able to finish break even on the day. Thanks for watching, guys.